Let's talk about RFK, baby. Let's talk about how big of a spineless coward this dude is. We could get into how strange and weird he is, but I guess that's for another segment. But in an unearthed audio phone call recording, it was found that RFK called Donald Trump supporters belligerent idiots and outright Nazis. He also compared Trump to Hitler, and he was right on the money with that. But when it comes to seeking political power, sometimes you got to bend the knee, lick the boots of people who you pretend to hate. Because look at you now, man. Look at you now. You said all that. And even before, while you were running, you had bad things to say about Donald Trump. But then, yeah, well, you switched it up. Now you changed your mind. Even though Donald Trump doesn't represent anything that you stand for when it comes to things like climate change, even though he don't give a damn about America's health, he still put you in charge of that because you licked his boots, because that's how Donald Trump works. So let's go ahead and listen to this secret recorded call that CNN has unearthed, where RFK was spitting facts.
One of the things that you write so beautifully, and your stuff is so fun to read. But you write about Trump. Quote, the way that you build a truly vicious nationalist movement is to wed a relatively small core of belligerent idiots to a much larger group of opportunists and spineless fellow travelers whose primary function is to turn a blind eye to things. We may not have that many outright Nazis in America, but we have plenty of cowards and bootlickers. And once those fleshy dominoes start tumbling into the Trump camp, the game is up. When you talk about fleshy dominoes, Chris Christie comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
How funny is that? He's talking about himself. He says a small core base of belligerent idiots and the rest of people who are just opportunists and bootlickers and cowards. And the opportunists and bootlickers and cowards, you're definitely speaking about yourself, RFK. So we're going to listen to that one more time because it's just ironic how he can turn on a dime. But I guess you could chuck that up to the brain worms and to the bear meat that he likes to consume, the dead carcass bear meat and the whale. When he puts some type of whale carcass on his roof, those juices and those oils from the whale and the rotting bacteria from the bear carcass that led to his brain worms. I guess that scrambled up his memory and his overall foresight. So we're gonna listen to that one more time before we close out this segment.
One of the things that you write so beautifully, and your stuff is so fun to read. But you write about Trump. Quote, the way that you build a truly vicious nationalist movement is to wed a relatively small core of belligerent idiots to a much larger group of opportunists and spineless fellow travelers whose primary function is to turn a blind eye to things. We may not have that many outright Nazis in America, but we have plenty of cowards and bootlickers. And once those fleshy dominoes start tumbling into the Trump camp, the game is up. When you talk about fleshy dominoes, Chris Christie comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. Opportunists who just fall right in, the bootlickers who are taking, again, he's just talking about himself. But that's why you got to actually stand for something. RFK Jr. did not need to do what he did, but I guess it paid off for him, because now a guy who doesn't believe in vaccines and thinks that we shouldn't have fluoride in our water, which helps protect people from cavities and among other things, now he's going to be the head of Health and Human Services. So I guess tip of the hat to you, brother. Congratulations on your bootlicking and ass kissing. And it definitely paid off big for you. So now you're going to have to weather the storm of a second Donald Trump administration. You're going to have to take responsibility for all the tomatoes that are about to be thrown at your face. Hey, now. Thank you so much for tuning in here at Politics and Paper. If you like what I do and you support my work, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and really helps to support what we do here.